Have you ever stopped to think about how a person can go from near total anonymity to, years later, become a star who conquers the entire world? Imagine a child of just 5 years old, in front of huge cameras, not even fully understanding the pressure of what she was experiencing, but already carrying in her eyes the determination of someone who knew where she wanted to go. That child was Park Eun-bin, and it is precisely her journey that we will reveal here. Full of challenges, historics, achievements, moments of absolute brilliance, and, of course, controversial conversations. What makes Park Eun-bin's story so fascinating is the contrast between the delicacy of her presence and the strength with which she faced her career. From a very young age, she didn't have the typical life of any child. While others went to play in the park after school, Eun-bin was already in recording studios, learning to memorize lines and deal with demanding directors. And yet, she managed to balance her studies, graduate from a prestigious university, and prove that talent doesn't have to be separated from discipline and intelligence. But don't think everything was easy. There were times when her career seemed to be stalling, when she was seen as just a child actress who couldn't reinvent herself. The pressure was enormous, as was the competition. And it was at this point that Park Eun-bin showed her greatest quality: persistence. She didn't give up, even when it seemed like doors were closing. And this choice to move forward completely changed her destiny. Today, when we talk about extraordinary attorney Woo, it's impossible not to remember her. The character that moved millions around the world was the turning point, the culmination of a career built with sweat, tears, and a lot of talent. But before this great triumph, Eun-bin had to overcome years of challenges, criticism, and even controversies that marked her career. And that's exactly what we'll tell you in this video. The truth about how she went from child actress to winning the coveted Daesang, the highest award in Korean television. So, get ready to dive into a story that blends resilience, emotion, international success, and even unexpected controversies. If you also believe that great stories deserve to be told, subscribe to the channel, like it, and activate the bell, because what you'll discover about Park Eun-bin will surprise you in every detail. Now imagine for a moment the life of a child who, instead of spending afternoons playing in the yard or video games, had to memorize lines, face cameras, and play characters she didn't always fully understand. This was Park Eun-bin's routine. At 5 years old, she had already entered a world few managed to survive in, and most impressively, she not only remained, but became one of the most recognizable faces on Korean television. While many think that acting at such a young age is just for fun, for Eun-bin, the reality was quite different. From the beginning, she demonstrated extraordinary discipline for someone her age. She filmed long scenes, faced demanding directors, and still had to keep up with her studies. Persistence since childhood creates foundations that not even time can erase. This strength she demonstrated as a child actress became fuel for the long journey that lay ahead. Another detail that makes this period even more special is that Eun-bin wasn't limited to just being a cute child on screen. She dedicated herself so much that she began to be repeatedly called upon to play young versions of protagonists in major productions. This may seem small, but it was in this role that she built a reputation for reliability. If a director needed someone capable of moving, even at a young age, they knew they could count on Park Eun-bin. The confidence you gain early can open doors for a lifetime. But how do you balance recording, school, and the pressure of growing up in the spotlight? Eun-bin found balance in a surprising way. Throughout her youth, she studied psychology and communication at Sogang University, one of the most respected in Korea. This not only reinforces her intelligence, but also shows that, even immersed in the artistic world, she never abandoned her studies. Knowledge is an invisible armor that protects any successful trajectory. This phase of Park Eun-bin's life proves that fame didn't come overnight. It was the result of years of effort, discipline, and conscious choices. An actress, who could have been just another child star, ended up becoming an example of resilience. And the most curious thing? This foundation built in childhood would be precisely what helped her face the greatest challenges of adulthood. When Park Eun-bin stopped being just a reliable child actress and began pursuing a career as an adult leading lady, many thought the transition would be simple. After all, she already had years of experience, was recognized by directors, and had earned respect for her discipline. But the reality was quite different. The path to establishing herself as an adult actress was fraught with obstacles, marked by roles that didn't always achieve the expected visibility, and by demands far greater than those she faced as a child. His first big challenge came in 2012, when he took on the lead role in Operation Proposal, a romance and time travel drama. It was a chance to prove he could carry an entire production on his shoulders. The result, however, wasn't the resounding success many expected. The drama received attention, but not enough to immediately catapult his career to the next level. This moment served as a reality check. Being a leading lady didn't necessarily mean automatic recognition. In the following years, Eun-bin faced what many call a gray zone in her career. She appeared in solid productions, but without the impact that would have transformed her into a household name. Meanwhile, other actors of the same generation were gaining fame more quickly. Still, she didn't give up. She accepted supporting and minor roles, seizing every opportunity to refine her acting and explore new genres. It was only in 2016 and 2017 with Hello, My 20s, a young adult drama about life in a sorority house, that Eun-bin began to gain more attention. Her performance was praised for its naturalness and the way it conveyed authentic emotions. Shortly thereafter, in Hot Stove League 2019, she took another decisive step. The baseball-centered drama started with modest ratings but quickly became a national phenomenon, reaching peak ratings of over 20%. This role brought not only recognition, but also the confidence that Eun-bin was ready for greater heights. These early years as an adult actress showed that her career wouldn't be built in a straight line. Eun-bin faced doubts, questions, and even the fear of being forgotten. But with patience and consistency, she managed to establish herself. It was during this period of trials that she proved she wasn't just a former child actress trying to stay relevant, but a professional in evolution, capable of overcoming setbacks and transforming each experience into a stepping stone to even greater achievements. After so many years of dedication and having won important roles in series such as Hello, My 20s and Hot Stove League, Park Eun-bin finally found in The King's Affection the project that would forever change her career. Released in 2021, the historical drama had a bold proposition, telling the story of a princess who, to survive, assumes the identity of her twin brother, the Crown Prince. This meant Eun-bin would have to play a dual role, simultaneously experiencing the fragility of a young woman who must hide her true identity and the strength of a prince bearing the weight of the throne. The pressure was immense. It wasn't just another period drama, but a production that required her to master her expressions, physical posture, and even her manner of speaking. After all, her character had to convince everyone in the palace that she was a man, while the audience had to feel the pain and loneliness of someone trapped in an undisclosed secret. The challenge was enormous, but Park Eun-bin delivered a performance that impressed critics and moved millions of viewers. The impact was so great that The King's Affection ended up becoming the first K-drama in history to win the International Emmy in the Best Telenovela category. This achievement not only put the production in the global spotlight but also catapulted Eun-bin's career to a new level. Suddenly, she was not only a well-known actress in Korea but also an artist recognized internationally. In addition to the historic award, her performance received praise for bringing deep layers to the character, masterfully balancing the political drama of the court with the personal emotions of someone living a risky secret. Many critics considered this role the turning point that solidified Eun-bin as one of the most talented actresses of her generation. With The King's Affection Park, Eun-bin proved that she wasn't just resilient or dedicated, but capable of shouldering a high-profile production and transforming it into a milestone for the entire industry. It was the decisive step before experiencing the greatest triumph of her career, Extraordinary Attorney Woo. If Park Eun-bin had already proven her versatility and earned respect within Korea, it was in 2022 that she reached a level few actors achieve: global recognition. The drama Extraordinary Attorney Woo debuted almost quietly, without much expectation, but quickly became a cultural phenomenon. The plot followed Woo Young-woo, a young lawyer on the autism spectrum who, despite social difficulties, possessed extraordinary intelligence and a photographic memory that made her brilliant in her profession. Playing this character wasn't easy. It required sensitivity, research, and responsibility as the autistic audience, and their families would be paying close attention to every detail. Park Eun-bin immersed herself in the role, studying behaviors, interviews, and testimonies to bring Woo Young-woo to life in a respectful and moving way. The result was a delicate, nuanced performance that balanced the character's sweetness, vulnerability, and genius. The impact was immediate, extraordinary. Attorney Woo entered Netflix's global top 10 and remained among the most watched non-English series for several weeks. Fans from different countries were moved by the story, and Park Eun-bin began to be called the actress of the generation, a title that reflected not only her talent, but also her ability to move audiences across cultural boundaries. The peak came when she received the Daesang Grand Prix at the 59th Daesang Arts Awards, South Korean television's highest honor. It was official recognition that her career, which began in childhood, had culminated in one of the most remarkable performances of the decade. The accolade was accompanied by critical acclaim, praise from colleagues, and of course, millions of fans around the world. With Extraordinary Attorney Woo, Park Eun-bin not only won awards, but made history as an artist who transformed a role into a symbol of inclusion, emotion, and hope. After reaching the peak with Extraordinary Attorney Woo, everyone expected Park Eun-bin to continue on the path of recognition and applause. But 2023 showed that, along with success, would also come criticism and controversy. Her new project, Castaway Diva, seemed promising. The story of a young aspiring singer who, after spending years isolated on an island, returns to pursue her dream. The plot had drama, overcoming obstacles, and music, perfect ingredients to captivate audiences. However, the series found itself embroiled in controversies that extended far beyond the screen. During filming in Jeju, the production was accused of causing environmental damage props, and debris were left on the beach after filming, sparking outrage among local residents and environmentalists. The controversy quickly spread across social media, raising questions about the responsibility of film crews working in natural settings. And it didn't stop there. In Seoul, another filming session was interrupted when a resident, irritated by the noise and intense lights used on the set, threw bricks at the location. Fortunately, no one was injured, but the incident drew media attention and further strained the production's image. When asked about the controversies, Park Eun-bin stated that there were facts beyond the facts, and that many circumstances were unknown to the public. While her intention was to show that not everything was under her control, her statement ended up sounding defensive to some viewers, sparking a wave of criticism and negative comments online. Many fans expected a more direct stance of empathy with the concerns raised, and the response was divided. Additionally, some viewers began to notice similarities between his portrayal in Castaway Diva and its performance in Extraordinary Attorney Woo. Expressions, gestures, and even intonations were compared, leading to accusations of repetition and lack of versatility. Although others defended the actress, claiming these were choices made by the script and director, the debate was intense and put Eun-bin in a delicate position. These controversies showed that, even after gaining international respect, Park Eun-bin was not immune to constant scrutiny from the media and the public. Castaway Diva revealed not only the actress's talent, but also how fame can turn any detail into a huge controversy. With the immense success of Extraordinary Attorney Woo and the global visibility Park Eun-bin achieved, it was inevitable that her performance would be scrutinized. The audience, who previously only applauded her every performance, now also sought points of comparison and weaknesses. This became especially evident after the premiere of Castaway Diva, when some internet users began to criticize the way Eun-bin played her characters. Some viewers noticed that certain gestures, facial expressions, and even the cadence of speech were very reminiscent of lawyer Woo Young-woo, her character in Extraordinary Attorney Woo. For these critics, there was a risk that Eun-bin was stuck in a style that, while earning awards and recognition, could limit her versatility in the future. The comments gained traction on forums and social media, with heated discussions about whether the similarity was the result of the actress's choice or a coincidence created by the series' directors. On the other hand, many fans and experts vehemently defended Eun-bin. They argued that the impact of Extraordinary Attorney Woo was so profound that any subsequent performance would inevitably be subject to comparisons. Furthermore, they emphasized that the script for Castaway Diva called for a vulnerable, dreamy character struggling to fit into the world, which could naturally evoke elements of previous characters. These defenders considered the criticism unfair and ignored the actress's dedication to bringing depth to each new role. Park Eun-bin herself has made it clear in interviews that she views each project as a learning opportunity. She acknowledges that viewers may see patterns, but believes her mission is to explore real and complex emotions in each character. Even amid criticism, she never lost her composure, demonstrating maturity under pressure. These discussions reveal something important. The greater the success, the greater the expectations. And in Park Eun-bin's case, the weight of the role that made her famous became an additional challenge. Now, in addition to proving her abilities, she also needs to constantly reinvent herself to avoid being pigeonholed as an actress with a single style. After spanning decades of career, from childhood to becoming a Daesang winner, Park Eun-bin now holds a difficult title to achieve, that of a complete artist. Her career demonstrates that it's not just about collecting prominent roles, but also about surviving constant pressure, relentless criticism, and inevitable controversy. And it's precisely this ability to stand firm that makes her one of the most respected figures in South Korean television. In 2024, she surprised everyone by investing in music, releasing singles, and holding fan concerts, a move that demonstrated her desire to connect even more with her audience. The following year, in 2025, she took another bold step by taking on a dark and intense role in the drama Hyper Knife. This choice signaled that Eun-bin is not afraid to step out of her comfort zone, and that she is willing to challenge her own image to grow even further as an actress. But perhaps the most remarkable aspect of her story is how she built a legacy of resilience. From her days as a child actress in the young versions to becoming a global star, she never let herself be shaken by difficult times. She persisted quietly, honed her skills, and waited for the right moment to shine. Today, she is remembered not only for her successes, but also for her The King's Affection, or Extraordinary Attorney Woo, but also for being a symbol of discipline and patience in an industry that often burns out talent too soon. Park Eun-bin's future is still open to new achievements, and we expect her to continue surprising with challenging and exciting roles. For her fans, she's already left a clear message: talent and persistence go hand in hand. And for the entertainment industry, her story serves as a reminder that true stardom isn't born by chance, but by years of unseen effort. Thus, Park Eun-bin remains an inspiration to millions, showing that a resilient star not only shines but lights the way for others who dream of getting there. And that was Park Eun-bin's incredible journey, from starting out as a child actress to becoming one of Korea's biggest stars, winning the IEI, prestigious Daesang, and moving the world with Extraordinary Attorney Woo. A trajectory marked by talent, resilience, and even controversies that proved his strength. Now I want to know from you, which phase of Park Eun-bin's career surprised you the most? Was it a challenging childhood, the historic milestone with The King's Affection, or the worldwide phenomenon of Extraordinary Attorney Woo? Tell me in the comments, I'd love to read your opinion. And don't forget, if you liked this video, subscribe to the channel, like it, and activate the bell so you don't miss any future stories. This way you help us grow and continue watching incredible content about the stars you love. Until the next video.